rocks in there. Oh. Okay.
Hello, may I know your name, please? I'm the call clerk.
Hi, my name's Robert LeBlanc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm counsel for the city of Vancouver, and I'm appearing on the McKee and Vancouver police matter.
Okay, thank you. And how to spell your last name?
L-E, capital B, L-A-N-C.
Okay, and Robert. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. So the judge, okay, for both of you, the judge will be Mr. Justice Walker, W-A-L-K-E-R. Okay. Okay. And I guess that both of you are ready, and I will let him know so that he can join in anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Just to let both of you know, the judge may need another 10 minutes to review the material. Okay? Thank you. I'm going to turn on the recording and I will call the police. Calling the matter of Stephen McGee and the Vancouver Police Department.
Yes, Stephen McKee.
I can't see Mr. McKee. You're supposed to be on Teams.
No, this is via phone.
Well, all right. Let's see where this goes. Are you for the City of Vancouver, Mr. LeBlanc?
Yes, Mr. Justice Walker. My name is Robert LeBlanc. The last name is spelled LEBLANC. I am counsel for the City of Vancouver, and I'm more or less appearing as a courtesy to the court. I don't know whether you've had an opportunity to review a letter that's been filed by my colleague, Mr. Dixon, that's dated May 4th, 2022. It should be in the court file.
Let me stop you for a minute. What I have is there's an echo here. Is somebody recording this or
No.
reverberate? So, I don't even have, what I have is a notice of civil claims. I have a binder full of documents, and I've been going through them to try and find the notice of application. I don't see anything in here. I see a lot of material about masks and COVID-19 and reports of...
The application should be in there.
Just a minute, please. Just a
Yep.
minute. I'm looking... Go through the paper again. There's no notice of application in here. There's nothing in here but a notice of civil claim and quite a bit of documents. There's nothing's attached to an affidavit. So I'm sorry, that's my emails on so I can sign in. So I don't even know what this is about.
This is about the police abusing the law. This is what this
What
case...
is it? What are you seeking? Do you have an application that you filed, Mr. McKee?
Yes, I do. I don't have it on me personally. Oh no, wait, hold on. No, I don't have it on me personally. I gave it to the clerk at the courthouse.
Okay. When did you do that, Mr. McKee?
I did it on the what day is today? The 14th. I did it on the 12th. Oh no, not the 12th. On the 10th. Sorry, or 20. Sure. Today's the 24th. I did it on the 20th.
So this is Peter, the court clerk?
Yes.
There's a copy of the application on my desk. Do you want me to bring it to you?
Just before you do, let me hear from Mr. LeBlanc. Can you tell me what it is he's seeking, what the application's about?
There's an application that's being brought naming the Vancouver Police Department. The order sought is described as being a $50 million of the Vancouver Police Department's money. The factual basis, there's nothing set out. The legal basis notes this tyranny must be stopped and no materials to be relied upon other than definitions of words according to Google Merriam-Webster's dictionary. That's essentially the application that's before the court.
And what about this letter, Mr. LeBlanc? You were telling me about a letter which I haven't seen.
Yes, the city was forwarded a copy of the notice of application from somebody at the Vancouver Police Department. As is usually the case, the city will assign civil counsel to deal with city Vancouver Police Department matters. The letter that my colleague, Mr. Dixon, provided to Mr. McKee sets out the fact that the named party in that notice of application, being the Vancouver Police Department, is not a legal entity. I can provide you with a citation for that. So I'm not here really representing anybody, but simply to be available in the event that the court had any questions about the letter that was on file. I think from the city's perspective, what we want to avoid having is some sort of default judgment against a non-entity.
Mr. Registrar, is that letter there with the application?
I'm checking in.
Okay.
No, not really. I only have a 4-page application.
Let me just see if it's in, I have access to the, Word file electronically. Let me see if it's there. I see the notice of application is really there. Okay, I see the notice of application. Okay, I don't see the letter, but,
I've been advised that it was both filed and provided to Mr. McKee. I've more or less just explained to the court what it contains and what the position is and the purpose of my appearance today. Obviously, I have other concerns with respect to the deficiency of the notice of application, but I'm not really appearing for any party to the litigation. I don't know how much the court wants to hear from me on that.
I can see the notice of application here online, so I don't need you to bring it down, Mr. Registrar. Mr. McKee.
Yes.
There are some significant problems with the application. The first one is you're suing an entity that's not a party.
Well, no, I looked up a copyrighted industry, and in order to be one, you have to, only a legal entity can be held accountable, or can hold a copyright.
Yeah, so, Mr. McKee, just let me tell you what some of the issues are with your application and what I think you should do. You have to sue someone who's a legal entity, and the Vancouver Police Department is not a legal entity. And Mr. LeBlanc says that his colleague, Mr. Dixon, sent you a letter to explain who is. And let's assume for a moment you had even named a proper legal entity.
Mm-hmm.
The application is deficient. It doesn't say, doesn't set out the ground of you're entitled for the order. It doesn't set out case authority, any basis for the order, and it doesn't refer to any affidavit material or facts in it. It's wholly deficient. So even if you had named the right party and they had a lawyer here in front of me today, I couldn't give you the relief you seek because the notice of application is wholly deficient. So you need to get some legal advice. If you've got a complaint against the Vancouver City Police Department, you've got to get some advice on how to properly, who to sue, how to sue them, the grounds in which you should set out in your notice of claim, which is also deficient, and then bring on an application that complies with the rules in court. None of that is the case. Your notice of civil claim is deficient as well. So there are
my notice of application, a mandate is not a law, as well as the fact that them following this in any regard is against human rights. Like that, I just don't understand how that cannot be taken seriously.
Okay, so Mr. McKee, I'm trying to help you. So it's really important that you let me finish.
Okay.
I'll try and repeat it again in a summary manner. You've not sued an entity that exists in law.
But
you filed a notice of civil that's wholly deficient, doesn't comply with the rules of court. You filed a notice of application that's wholly deficient, doesn't comply with the rules of court. Even if you had named the proper party, and you were here, and there was a lawyer acting for the party, they would be asking you to dismiss your application for a number of reasons, including all of the deficiencies, which I would have to grant. So I'm prepared to adjourn everything while you go get legal advice to help you put everything in order. If you have a claim that you want to present against the police department, you should be allowed to do that.
Okay.
You need to do it properly, and you need to get legal advice. There are self-help centers. There used to be one across the street. There are paralegals that help people like yourself. Sit down, either talk to a person or Zoom or on the phone, and tell them what your complaint is, what it is you're seeking, and they can help you with it.
Well, no, I've already. Sorry for interrupting you. I've already searched up all of that kind of stuff, and it very plainly, I typed in very plainly, can the Vancouver police be sued? And then it said yes, and then it went on to say the next part of what it says. But I mean, there should be no blockages in terms of my filing this lawsuit, because I have looked up all the facts, all the things, and it says yes, very plainly, yes, the Vancouver Police Department can be sued.
And Mr. McKee, what's your complaint against the city of Vancouver?
My complaint is for the past 2.5 years, the Vancouver police have been enforcing mask wearing, which a mandate, which is not a law. I have a definition. I gave it to you as well. A definition of a mandate, and it's not a law. And then afterwards, when they lifted the mandate, they're still enforcing wearing masks in certain businesses, like doctors' offices, in airports and everything like that. And that is a complete and total violation of human rights, them doing that.
Okay, well, thank you for telling me what your complaint is, because I have to say that none of that is apparent on any of your documents. So, Mr. McKee, you need to go get some legal advice. You need to, if you want to advance that complaint against the police department, nothing will stop you from doing it. You're at liberty to sue the police department and make whatever complaints you want, as long as they're complaints known to law. But you've got to sue the right entity, and you have to have the notice of civil claim prepared properly and your notice of application prepared properly, and serve them. So, like I say, if there was a lawyer here acting for the police department, assuming that they were a legal entity, he or she would ask me to dismiss your application on the basis it was wholly deficient, and I would have to agree with that. But I'm allowing you the opportunity now to go get advice and do it properly.
Okay.
Come back with the proper documentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm adjourning the application generally.
Okay. And then, so you want me to get a new application and file the correct paperwork?
You need to go get advice on how to draw up a proper notice of civil claim.
Okay.
And then you need to get advice on how to draw up a proper notice of application, and what the grounds are, and set it all out.
Okay.
Right now, it's wholly deficient. Everything about it is deficient.
Okay.
Everything about it, when I say it, I mean both. So we're gonna return the binder back downstairs to scheduling, and you can pick it up, Mr. McKee.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. LeBlanc, is there somebody that Mr. McKee should communicate with at the city to avoid?
I know he's been in touch with Mr. Dixon. I think that Mr. Dixon's probably still the point person on this particular file.
So, Mr. McKee, you keep in contact with Mr.
Okay. Okay.
Is there anything else you want to say, Mr. LeBlanc? I appreciate you showing up.
No, I'd only just note that I was only aware of and I think anybody at the city is only aware of the notice of application. There's no indication that a notice of civil claim has been filed, and no materials either. So, if Mr. McKee was intent on pursuing this, then he's going to need to make sure he files the correct party with the correct documents.
The notice of civil claim is here filed on April 27th, 2022. It names the Vancouver Police Department, and it's simply says statement of facts and mandates, not a law. Number 2, continuing enforcement restrictions is tyranny. And a little bit and repeat it the next. It's very similar to what's in the notice of application.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. McKee, you've got to do it properly. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah.
Not just to pursue the right party. You have to follow the rules of court and set out your claim, what it is, the facts, the legal basis. And if you come forward, you have to have evidence. You can't just say they're acting improperly, they're enforcing an invalid law. You have to have evidence for a judge to consider. And
Well, isn't the definition of a mandate good evidence?
well, Mr. McKee, you could get some legal advice on this. As I say again, everything is the way you're going about this. It doesn't work. So I just wanted to make sure you know that if you do some of it and not all of it, and let's say you sue the right party, and you come back in, counsel for the right party is likely going to stand up and say, it's still deficient. There's nothing here. Strike it. So get the legal advice. Make sure you come back and do it right.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge.
Okay, all right, we'll put it back down. Thank you, then we'll adjourn. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justice. Order in court, adjourn.
All the hoops that they make someone jump through in regards to suing a civil or suing a community entity, meaning the Vancouver police, which apparently don't exist according to that judge. They make it I gave the very basics of what my case was about. And they were, I don't know if you could tell by hearing that, but you know, they kind of condescended, talked down to me, you know, like they're trying to cloud it or make me jump through all these hoops when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking of it, and it's plain and simple. If the Vancouver Police Department cannot be sued in the way that I conducted it, then by that matter, the Vancouver Police Department does not exist.